Hi, and thanks for joining us. This is Industry Insights, part of the Remy Network. Please go ahead and subscribe wherever you're listening to the show or watching it on YouTube. You can subscribe and even hit the notification button, and when we have a new interview, you'll be notified right away. There is an amazing array of guests that we've had over the last couple of months, and I'll encourage you to go back in time and just take advantage of that knowledge base that we've provided there for you. We are live on location right now at the Condo Conference 2023, part of Condo Business's representation here at the show. And we've been fortunate enough to meet up with Connor Stewart. Hi, Connor.
Hey.
Thanks for the big intro and waiting that out. You are the Charge Guy. Well, you are Charge Guys.
Yes.
This is a business, I think, born out of technology that people are embracing more and more every day.
100%.
The electronic vehicle, electric vehicles.
Yeah.
And I guess alongside having an electrical vehicle, something that's powered by a battery, you need to charge that battery.
Definitely.
That's where you guys come in.
Yep.
Tell me some of the stats behind people driving cars right now that need to charge.
Yeah, well, I think I'd take a step back from that and I'd start with probably what people have heard before already, which is just that the government is pushing this, right? Federally, provincially, and everywhere in between. And, you know, we've even got so much as legislature that's been written that by 2035, there's no more gas-powered vehicles sold, right? So we're seeing that the numbers are kind of following suit with the legislation. And, you know, just this past year of 2023, sales of new vehicles, they've reached 10% new vehicles sold in Ontario are electric.
That's incredible, really, when you think about it.
And we're even seeing studies that, you know, about, especially in the GTA, 80% of people who are in the market for a new car are considering an EV over a gas vehicle.
It's difficult not to, as the prices come closer into the price bracket that people are used to or budgeting for a car.
Yeah.
They are definitely falling into that price range now. One of the concerns is, okay, I'm going to get stranded, or where will I park this and get a charge? I can do it at home, but home may be a condominium. It could be, you know, a high, I guess, a high density residential area. What the hell are we going to do now?
Yeah, well, I think it's important for a lot of people to really understand the difference between a gas car and an EV, and particularly the behavioral shift, right? Because I think that's where I'd start. Like, there's definitely a problem we're solving in the multi-res space with our company, but really what it starts with is education in the marketplace, because everybody's very accustomed to just driving around till you're on empty, and you pull over and you pump up quick and you go. But the example I like to use is, like, you know, when you're talking about day-to-day to and from work, electric vehicles are perfect. Most of them have 400 or 500 kilometers range.
Yeah.
People aren't driving that in a day anyway.
No.
And you come home every night to a fuel source, right? You have a pump, effectively,
Exactly.
at home. So it's not a concern day to day. It's more long trips that I think that comment comes out. And that's where, like I say, it's the behavioral shift for people. Because take a gas car and you've got a 6-7 hour drive. You're going to have to stop for gas.
Exactly.
And you don't want to even. Right? Nobody even wants to stop for gas.
It's true. You just want to continue on.
Yeah, let alone stop for charging, which takes longer.
Right.
But, you know, the example I would use is if you went Toronto to Montreal, right? That's a good trip. And on an EV or a gas car, you won't make it there on one charge or one tank of gas, right? So you're going to stop anyway. Plus, most people aren't going to go 5.5 hours door to door. Right, maybe the road warriors, but
mostly you're right. There has to be comfort breaks along the way.
That's right. My wife
and we are used to gas.
That's right. And my wife, you know, she needs to stop every so often, anyways. Right. So you're going to do it anyway.
I blame my wife too, but really it's me.
Yeah.
We're pulling over the next stop we can.
So, you know, you'd stop in Belleville or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're going to have fast chargers there. That once you get to Belleville, you're not at zero, right? You've still got battery when you get there. You plug in for maybe 20 minutes, gives you enough time for a bio break and a bite to eat, and you carry on your way to Montreal. So you got to be more thoughtful with your trip planning, but it's not much different than a gas car.
Also, if you're already being thoughtful enough to buy an EV, then you're already in that mind space, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
And what we found with people, I use this example too, smartphones, right? Once you go into one, you never go back.
Exactly.
Right? Would you want
you made the transition to the other side, and you're not coming back.
Yeah. And there's pros and cons to anything. But once you get used to it, it's better than the previous.
That, I think, is the main goal here. Of course, it does something for the environment, something for the pocketbook long term.
Yeah.
But you're right, once you get your mindset in the right place, an electric vehicle makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Let's talk about what you guys do.
Sure.
Tell me about Charge Guys.
Yeah, so Charge Guys started back in 2018. And back then, we recognized a bit of a gap. Like, I grew up on car lots. My family is all car dealers.
Oh, okay.
And at the time, I realized that there was a bit of a gap in the customer experience, right? They were selling EVs at my family lots, and the salespeople couldn't tell you anything about it.
Right.
And they couldn't tell you how to charge it or what you would need to do at home or anything like that, right? So my initial concept was, why don't we partner up with the dealership and complete that customer experience? So that's where we started.
The education element, how to get the most out of it.
And completing and doing the supply and installation at the dealership right after you buy your car.
Fantastic.
Right? So we'd go to your home, we'd install that directly, and then the dealership wins because now it's a better experience for the customer. They get the right advice.
Well, the last thing you want to think as a customer is, okay, I finally made the move to an electric vehicle. They sold me the car, now I don't know what to do next.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's where we started, and we grew. We opened up our office in Vancouver. And then as the market grew, we started getting more people that were buying EVs and coming into condos. And at that point, it was a different answer, right? Because it's a little more complex in these condos. It's not just, go slap it on the panel in the house and call it a day, right? And you've got some legal challenges, you've got technical things, you've got just a lot more stuff to deal with. So we started doing that, and that was going great. And then we recognized there was even problems with that, particularly with how do you pay for it? Right, because
that's a good point. In the condo corporation, there has to be some equity among the people who have EVs and the people who don't. How do you manage that?
Exactly, and you can't, other than selling all the infrastructure and the chargers back to each of the owners. But then the problem becomes, well, it comes in blocks of 20 or 40, and there's maybe 4 owners in a building.
Right.
So you're stuck, right? And then people, when they're looking at buying a new car, aren't going to buy an EV
because I can't take it home.
I can't take it home and charge it,
right?
Or it's going to cost me $10,000, $15,000 to put a charger in, right? So it's a non-starter. So by partnering up recently with Enbridge, we've solved that problem as well, where Enbridge comes in and runs it like a utility. They make the investment, we build it for them, we service it, we sell it, and then users can hook up whenever they want within the building.
So once that install is there, whoever needs to come in, whether it's a new homeowner or somebody that's been there for a number of years, that can trade the utility, can switch over to somebody else's name, and they can take that.
That's right. So they can take it over if the unit gets sold, it transfers over. And it's an affordability thing, because with the way you pay for it up front, depending on where you park, in relation to the electrical source, could be very expensive. Could be 10, 15, 20,000.
Right.
You just spent 60 grand on a car, right? It's tough.
You can't build that into the finance of a car.
That's right.
It's too much, yeah.
So the other part of this program is just the fact that there's no upfront cost, and it's an affordable fee just like internet to have a charger right in your parking spot.
It is an innovative way to go about it, I have to admit.
Yeah.
That's a very cool thing. Where can people find out more about Charge Guys?
So our booth is down the street here. We're 718. You can also visit us on chargeguys.ca.
Cool.
Or reach out directly by email, phone call. We're around.
I think it's really cool that you've made this linkage for people that otherwise wouldn't be able to make that purchase decision on this kind of car.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to mind. And then just to make it so easy for a multi-unit operation to handle, To me, that just it's very breakthrough.
Well, it's that, but it's also like the way we see it is we're helping drive the adoption of electric vehicles.
It seems that you are, yeah.
Right? Because if you can't affordably get a charger in your condo, you're not going to buy one.
No, you're right.
Right?
You're
So
right.
we're solving a lot of problems at once, and that to me is what I think we're really trying to do as a company as well, is just drive the industry forward and help EVs get into people's parking spots, and into their driveways.
It's going to turn around entirely, because where you live now is one of the requirements in your mind. Be where can I put my vehicle? How can I charge my car?
Yeah.
It makes your building more appropriate and more appealing, I think, for some.
100%. You got the new buildings with all the infrastructure in it to begin with.
Yeah.
So from a building standpoint, and even an owner standpoint, this keeps your asset in line with new inventory, keeps your values maintained as time goes on.
Charge guys, there you have it. Well, listen, I really appreciate this, Connor.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for
Appreciate
taking
you
the
having
time.
us on.
Don't forget, we have many great interviews sweeping the entire industry on many topics. Please join us for more of those, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Take care.